going into the GBP USD, and personally I have a buy position triggered currently, which I'm still very doubtful about, as I still need another breakout of this structure here to give me that confidence needed to maximize the profit on this one. So let's run through what has been happening in this market since the beginning of this week and how we have been trading the GBPUSD so far. So right now, at the beginning of the week, we saw our price actions initially started on a bearish note, as we saw how price actions started at our key level at the 1.24550 level. So we saw selling pressure resume here, bringing price back into the structure here at the 1.241, making that area our support line for the week. So we had this whole consolidation phase happen at the beginning of the week, and we were looking forward to price to break out or break down of this channel for trading opportunity. And luckily enough for us, during I think a couple of hours into the New York session on Monday, we saw price action break out of the resistant line at the 1.24550 level to trigger our first buy position for the week. And we had this move all the way up as price action moved in our favor, moved about 58 pips in our favor before this bearish momentum happened. And you all know what we do. We move our stop loss accordingly to lock in some profit so that we can secure the current position we are having. And when the selling pressure came in, at least we would have been taken out with some small profit, though it wouldn't have been very significant. Now, during the live session yesterday, we had a new whole setup that we said we were going to be using to guide our trading activity. And that was the situation here. We considered the breakout of the 1.24550 level, which was here. And we said after a breakout of structure, we expect that price will still come back, do a retest of the structure, and the appearance of buy pressure will incite a trend continuation to the upside. So this was one of our perspective here yesterday, and we saw this whole situation happen during the live session yesterday. And unfortunately, when we identified the setup on the 15 minutes time frame, let me show you the 15 minutes time frame so that we can see what I'm talking about here. So we had this whole structure, we identified this trend line here, and we said if price action breaks out of the trend line, then we will be in for a buying opportunity. But that did not happen, as you can see. So all buying expectations was negated at the site of the continued selling pressure. And with a sell stop order below the 1.24550 level, remember this was a trend line which has been supporting the bullish momentum since last week. And we said if price action breaks down both the trend line and that key level at the 1.24550 level, we are going to be in for a bearish move. And this was exactly what happened. Exactly immediately after we ended our live session, we saw price action move about another 67 pips in our favor before this bullish momentum happened. And I hope you moved your stop loss to lock in some profit as price action is being monitored. So we were taking out again with another small profit on the GBPUSD. So it has been a choppy situation on the GBPUSD so far this week, and this is as a result of the high impact economic event we are expecting today, and at the same time the whole event surrounding the US economy as regards interest rate decision coming up next week, and the one that happened lately, the First Republic Bank shares falling about 27% as a result of the fear that the banking consumers had as they moved their funds from the regional banks to the national banks, hereby losing about $100 billion from their portfolio. And this is like a dent to the US economy, and as a result of this, we see some traction in the pound sterling in that regard. Now the question right now is, will this traction continue to hold for the pound sterling as we head into the event coming up in an hour? That's the dilemma we have right now. But the fact that price action has broken out of our key level at this point at the 1.2455 level, I was of the opinion that buy pressure could continue at this point. But before I go into the details here, I want to share with you the thought process that led into the decision I just made by buying above the 1.24700 area. Now, if you look at what has been happening since the beginning of this week, at end of last week, we saw our price had consistently found higher lows in this market, giving us a bullish momentum. However, yesterday we saw the breakdown of that trend line happen, and personally, technically, when you look at this whole structure, you expect that when a breakdown of a key trend line like this happens, we expect price to come back into the trend line to incite a trend continuation to the downside. But instead of seeing selling pressure right below the trend line here, we saw price action broke out of that trend line with a massive engulfing bullish candle to signal the presence of buyers at that point. And so with a breakout of the 1.2455 level, I was the opinion that I will be buying if price action goes on to break out of that 1.247, which has been a major determinant of price action since the beginning of this week. And as a result of this, I bought above the structure with a stop loss somewhere below the key level here, with about 20 pips thereabout on that one, hoping that price action will continue further to the upside. And if you had been part of this move as well, kudos to you for being on standby to catch that one, and let's see if price will continue to the upside. But remember, I have a sell stop order below the 1.245 just in case price action drops below, and this whole movement we see here in the last couple of hours could turn out to be a false breakout. So it's a risk worth taking for me. I just decided to take it, and let's see how far this one will go. And for those who had missed out on this one, well, we need to be very patient at this point. We don't want to jump into a moving train, as we still need some confirmation for us to be clear that price action will continue to the upside. And at this point, since we've been seeing some rejection of the 1.24850 level here in the last couple of hours, we might want to identify that structure so that we can also use it to guide our trading activity for today. So if we're going to be acknowledging that, so we have something like this. So we have something like this. You can also see that it has been a major determinant of price action in the past, and you can see selling pressure. We've been seeing selling pressure here. So if you had missed the buy opportunity there, then we want to see price action break out the structure, not just break out and retest the structure. This will give us a confirmation to join. So we want to see breakout and retest of that level for us to be part of that move. So whenever it breaks out that level, we scale down to our lower time frame. We look out for something like this, and if we see something like this, then we know we are good to go. And in fact, if something like that happens, it will also share a confluence with our trend line, further emphasizing how important the trend line is for the buyers in this market. Now, if a further breakout of this old structure, let me label this for the sake of clarity. So we have this at 1.24850. So there we go. Then we also have a structure here, which is the highest point price action has been this week. And that is the 1.2550 level, I guess. Is it 1.25060? 1.25060. Okay, so that is it. So we also have another structure there, which we can also continue to add more position on this one. So these are the structures we are going to be using today to guide our buying opportunity in this market. So let's see how price action plays out from this current structure. And like I told you, I have a sell stop order below this level at the 1.245 being our key level for the week, and currently trading below the trend line. So if at any point in time price action takes us out of the buy position and continues drops below the 1.247, we continue to see selling pressure below the structure, then we might be in for a bearish move to the downside, as price action will now be back below that trend line that has been holding that bullish momentum. So let's see how this is going to be playing out. We already have a breakout of the 1.24850. Now in this kind of scenario right now, what you want to be doing is to scale down to a much more lower time frame. Let's say the 5 minutes time frame. This is the trend, this is the line that was broken right now. So we want to see something like this breakout, then we start seeing retest of structure, signs that sellers are finding it difficult to climb below, then we will join the move all the way to the upside. So this is what we are going to be looking forward to after the breakout of that trend line now. So let's be patient if you want to be part of this move on the GBPUSD. And for those like me who have taken advantage of this move at the 1.24700 level, kindly move your stop loss right now to lock in your position at that entry point, so that whenever price action takes us out, at least we will be taken out at a worst case scenario of break even. So that is that on the GBPUSD for today. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know right in the comment section.